Good afternoon, scholars. This post is for Module 7 and discusses the 13th Amendment. The 13th Amendment states that neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the parties shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States, or any place subject to their jurisdiction. Formally abolishing slavery in the United States, the 13th Amendment was passed by Congress on January 31, 1865, and ratified by the states on December 6, 1865. This amendment was not passed easily or without extensive debate. It was debated in the Senate 6 times between March 31, 1864, and June 15, 1864, before it was passed. The House of Representatives debated it 10 times between June 15, 1864, and January 31, 1865. Abraham Lincoln addressed the issue in December of 1864 in his annual message to Congress, in which he challenged the representatives to consider the amendment again. One could understand the argument of the day for obvious reasons, which ultimately led to the Civil War. However, we could ask the question, how is the 13th Amendment today applicable in our society? I believe it comes in the form of human trafficking, a modern-day form of slavery. Human trafficking, as described by the Florida Department of Children and Families on their website, is defined as, and I quote, the transporting, soliciting, recruiting, harboring, providing, or obtaining of another person for transport for the purpose of forced labor, domestic servitude, or sexual exploitation using force, fraud, or coercion. Human trafficking is not limited to teenage girls, but involves any person without exception to race, gender, or ethnicity. It is also not exclusive to sexual crimes, but can include those that act as maids or housekeeping, or maybe those working in food service industries, or any other form of work in which the victim is held. While a victim in need falls prey to coercion by another as a voluntary action, the difficulty in breaking free from this modern-day form of slavery is nearly as difficult as it was in the 18th century. Victims are threatened with death, beating, and other crimes by their captors, and therefore are too fearful to attempt fleeing. Many are often drugged or brainwashed into thinking that what is being done to them is okay. Federal and state agencies are currently working to combat the increase in human trafficking cases. Federal agencies involved in the war on human trafficking include Department of Homeland Security, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the Department of Justice, among others. The state of Florida is ranked the 3rd highest in the nation in calls to human trafficking hotlines. In 2016, there were nearly 2,000 calls to the national hotline reporting instances of human trafficking crimes in the state of Florida. The state of Florida has taken several steps in stopping the rise of human trafficking within the state. These actions include a zero-tolerance policy issued by the state attorney's office, the initiation of a statewide council on human trafficking, as well as laws such as Florida Statute 7807.06 and House Bills 989 and 7141. Other steps have been taken to cause requirements for nurses and law enforcement officers to receive training in the identification of human trafficking victims. There have also been many nonprofit agencies, such as Torchlight, that have been formed that create safe houses for victims after they are freed. The torment from this crime goes on for many years after a victim is freed and requires medical and psychological therapy. The war on slavery did not end at the conclusion of the Civil War. It continues today inside the borders of the United States. As believers, we can claim adoption by our Heavenly Father and freedom from slavery. What a privilege it is to share this freedom with those that are held captive. Thank you and have a great day.